Let's begin our yoga practice in a seated position. So just in simple pose, begin to let yourself get comfortable so you can wiggle, you can shift, and as you start to tune inward for this first part, if you'd like to close your eyes or just look down at the floor and start to settle into that breath, so that in and out. And we're just feeling our spine. We're noticing all of the tension, and we're noticing how we might be reaching for energy outside of ourselves. And we allow ourselves to sink in to the energy within. So as we feel that breath, we begin to tell ourselves it's okay. Maybe that feeling of coming home. Notice any upward lifts or downward pulls. And that can be of the shoulders, of the ribs, of the hips, even of the knees. Allowing yourself to give in to gravity as you only use which muscles are needed to just sustain the seated posture. And that's even the muscles of the face, so relaxing the forehead, down through the jaws. And we'll start to deepen the breath, so if you'd like, you could place your hand on your belly, so feeling that inhale and exhale. Now for some of us, we might be able to breathe into the belly a little bit easier than others, so just be gentle with yourself and do what feels good for you. If this causes any feelings of anxiety or losing your breath, then just take a moment, pause, and come back to it in a way that's easy for you to sustain. And let's bring the other hand to the chest so that we can feel how much we're breathing into the belly versus how much we're breathing into the chest. And here we can notice just our normal breathing patterns, or what's easier for us. Some of us might be chest breathers, and some of us might be belly breathers. For some of us, it might be easy to transition to that opposite one, and for others, it might not. So we can use this breath now, and we'll inhale for a count of 4, and exhale for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can just soften, place the hands on the knees softly, so not pulling or pushing, just releasing. So we can let the elbows fall heavy, we can release the shoulders. And let's just do some chin and neck exercises here. So we're just releasing the chin down and trying not to move anything except for creating the space in the neck. Now as we inhale up, we have to use a little bit different movement because we want to use the strength of the front of the neck as we bring up. So no dumping into that neck, just lifting. And then here is where we release. We release into the front. Again, we lift. As we lift the chin, we utilize the neck muscles so that we don't just drop into the vertebra. And then releasing down. And so we're creating this relax and then tension. So tension as we lift the head. And then releasing here at neutral. We'll turn to look over the shoulder and just be aware of if the other shoulder turns in. So we want to try to keep the shoulders where they're at as we just turn the head. And then as we release, we want to come back to center first. And then notice what other muscles maybe got tense, trying to help you out. And then we'll take it to the other side. You can notice any tendency to want to rotate fully. See if we can just turn the neck. And also notice any tendencies to turn to an angle and see if you can just turn to look. And then coming back to center. Now if that's difficult, that's probably normal because most of the time we're down at a phone, and if we turn, it's really easy to turn through the core, so we might not be used to utilizing the neck completely. So let's do that one more time. Take a deep breath, and as we exhale, begin to turn. Tightening your core just a little bit to keep yourself facing forward except for the head and neck. And then coming back to center, little pause. Release it out if you need to wiggle. I always encourage wiggling. And then deep breath. Exhaling to the other side. Notice your posture. Notice if for me, my belly instantly comes out and I have to remind myself to pull it back in. And then coming back to center. And here we'll begin to take our seated cat-cow. So we're going to start to warm up that spine. So we've got the inhale lifting through the chest. So we're not just pushing the belly out. The belly actually stays nice and strong. It's this upward lift and this expansion through the chest. And then we'll round the shoulders over. And we can use our hands just to make sure that we don't fall and cave into the back. But we're really pushing in and we're pulling out, so we're really working on spreading all the muscles of the back. And then we'll take this to a movement. So we're going to inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, round it over. So again, I'm not pulling with my hands. I could still do this without the hands. The hands are just keeping a placement so that I can make sure that I'm not leaning into it too much. I'm just giving myself this upward lift. Now here, if you do get the breath reversed, that's okay. So I'm inhaling open and exhaling close. But to really exaggerate this even more, if we really wanted tension in the front and tension in the back, then we would do that opposite breath. So this would be our exhale. And this would be our inhale. And this would expand the ribs more. So either one you choose is perfectly fine. Just notice that they will feel different and they will work out the body differently as well. And then we'll take this into a spiral. So we're going to lean through the front and then circle through the back. And just be careful that you're not utilizing all of the lumbar. So we still want the chest to reach forward and then the belly button to pull in. So we've got this nice spiraling, and so you can see I'm starting to use the elbows. You can even use the neck. And really letting yourself move, almost snake-like, slithering through that spine. And then we'll reverse and move it in the other direction. You might find that you move a little bit different through the other side. So we tend to have the tendency to utilize one side more than the other, or to turn to one side always more than the other. I notice this just if I've been the driver for many a days versus the passenger for many a days in the car. Which shoulder I look over and which arm I use just to put the seatbelt in. And as we come to center, we're going to let the hands fall heavy and we're going to start to fold forward. Now you could just do this with the neck and just let yourself fall heavy here. Maybe you noticed that the neck needed more attention. Maybe you'd like to let the head fall heavier because your upper back behind your heart has been really tense. Or maybe it's your lower back and hips and you might come all the way down. So there's different options and none of them is bigger, better, or less than. It's just depending on what your body needs. So let yourself choose that and rest into it. Big deep breath, so that breath is expanding that area. And we might walk our hands over to one side, taking a stretch through the ribs. And then we'll walk the hands over to the other side. Again, we're breathing into those ribs. Coming back to center. As we curl ourselves up, feel free to use the hands as much as you need to. We're going to cross our legs in the other direction. And again, we'll bring those hands onto the knees. And we're going to take our cat-cow the opposite way as you did last time. So that's going to be this exhale in the front. And we're going to really release that jaw. So it's going to be a and then an inhale, spread through the ribs. Exhale. As I mentioned, this will feel different. However, if your tendency was the opposite last time, then you might do the opposite breath, but we don't need to make it confusing. So let's just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now as we relax that jaw, it'll also help us to relax the hips. One more time. And from here, we're going to zip the belly up. And so I mean pulling the belly button inward, and then also pulling it up so that you really feel this pelvic core pulling up and in. And as we pull up and in, we'll also try to release that really low root area and just keep the core. Now that's very challenging. It takes time to get there, but the more you just attempt, the closer you'll get to making it happen. And we're going to place the hands on the knees, and we're going to take big puffs out through the nose. Now for this breathing exercise, we just focus on the exhale. It's going to be a very, very quick puff, 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 exhale, exhale, exhale. So we're going to go. And you'll see my chest moving, but what's actually happening is my belly button is punching in with each exhale. So I'm doing core work and I'm exhaling, exhaling, exhaling. As I'm exhaling, I'm tightening up. And then that slight inhale is just a little break. And then exhale, exhale, exhale. When you start to feel out of breath, you pause. And then you take a deep breath and you begin again. Here we go. Our dragon breath. Keep going. We'll relax the shoulders. Make sure they don't come up to the ears too much. Keep going. Take a deep breath. Inhale, reach up. And we're going to bring the thumbs in. We're going to be doing that same breath again. So that punching up and in. So instead of just punching in, we're going to punch up and in, up and in, up and in. And we're going to utilize the thumbs almost like there's a little wall and it hits the wall. So we're going to punch. We'll feel the muscles and then a little relax. Punch and relax. Again, just exhales, mouth stays closed. Exhale through the nose. And relax. Good job. That will stimulate the digestive system. It'll get a lot of fire element going on into the core. It's also really good if you just feel like you've got an emotional buildup going on. That'll also help release. Let's begin to drop into that forward fold since the legs are now crossed in the opposite direction. So you can take the hands down. You can be heavy in the neck. Maybe the neck needs more attention. Again, you could drop the head heavier. Feel that stretch behind the heart. Or you might sink all the way down. You choose. Deep breathing, wherever you choose to feel that expansion coming in and out of the muscle. And then rolling yourself up. Use the support of your hands as you come up. And as we come up, we're going to come into our cat-cow posture on our hands and knees. So coming into this tabletop position, we'll have the knees under the hips and the hands under the shoulders. I'm going to take my hands spread wide. So like you've got a big paw print on the floor, and the index finger is what's aiming forward. And then from here, again, I'm going to take the opposite breath. So this is actually going to be the inhale. And then this is going to be the exhale. Now that might be confusing for some, especially if you're used to practicing yoga. It's the opposite of what we normally do. This is your inhale, spreading wide through the ribs, and then this is your exhale, release that jaw. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale, resting here. We're going to thread the needle, but we're going to pump through it a few times. So threading the needle is this arm reaching open, we're twisting open, and then we're threading through, and we're going to pause on that thread through, open it back up again, and then exhale, thread through. One more time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, thread through. This time we can rest into the shoulder and the side of the head. Take a moment, feel your breath. Pressing into the stable hand, we'll bring it back up. And then we'll take the other hand, we're opening up. We're going to do that 3 times. So big exhale, push through. Inhale, open up. Exhale, thread through. Inhale, open up. Now if it was too much or one side just doesn't behave the same as the other, instead of resting onto the side of the head, you can also rest into the elbow. And you can still get an equally good twist. You'll just move into it deeper if you rest all the way down. Inhale and out. Pressing into the stable hand, big inhale, guide yourself back out. And then we'll bring the hands onto the floor, tuck the toes, lift the hips, and we've got our downward facing dog. Do not worry about the heels touching the floor. So the knees can be as bent as you need to be. We're pushing back. So we want to push the chest towards the top of the feet. Spread the fingers wide. Soften the elbows. And let the head fall heavy. Deep breathing here. And of course you can always pedal it in and out. One more deep breath. And then we begin to walk our feet forward as we come into our forward fold. Let yourself fall heavy. Releasing out the ears, releasing out the elbows, releasing out the shoulders. Keep breathing deep, letting gravity pull down the spine. I always like to hang out here for a while, really feeling gravity pull the spine in the opposite direction than it does all day long. With deep breaths to help assist that release, that letting go. And as we come up on this first one, let's walk the hands up, support, and then release it out. You can pedal the knees, you can circle the hips, however you need to let it go. Okay, and then we're moving into a sun salutation, but it's going to be a little different. So we're going to do this lunar style. It'll look similar to the sun salutation, so it's not a moon flow. It's going to be a lunar flow. So the hands come up, inhaling. As the hands reach up, we also push into the heels to lift through the heart, but to drop through that sacrum and into the heels. As we bring the hands together, we'll start to sit back into a chair. As we come into a chair, you can heel toe it in. The feet can be close together. The feet could be all the way together. So you choose. And then we'll have the hands come down. This is where you might heel toe it back out into a comfortable stance. Pedal it out. And then we're lifting up through the right heel, directly up. Bend the front knee softly. And we're going to let the back foot come down, toes are forward, so we're in a lunge. And we're going to take this outer hip, draw it in, squeeze it in, and then let that back knee release. Relax the back toe, rolling yourself up. And we'll bring the hands down into prayer. Let the hands come all the way down. Tuck that back toe again. Lift the back hip. Step back into your plank and then drop the knees lower down. Exhale. Keeping those knees digging into the floor and then press into the feet, lift the heart. And so we want to make sure that we're not just pushing into the spine. We're lifting and opening the chest and then releasing it down. Push yourself back up again into the knees, into the hands, pushing up and then settling back into a child's pose. One breath. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Relax the head, soften the elbows, and we'll bring the feet together. Lifting up to that right heel, big inhale. Exhale, lower it down. Left heel, big lift, straight up. And then drawing the knee in towards the chest, plant the foot, turn that back toe out. Warrior one, bend the front knee, squeeze that front hip, hands come all the way up. Bend into the front knee even more, dig into the front heel as the hands come down. Inhale, reach it back up. And then we're going to bring our knees into a mudra. So I call it my Charlie Angel mudra. And then we'll slice it down, big exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, slice. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, slice. Release it out. Hands come all the way to the floor. Step the back foot forward and fold. Release, pedal, relax the head, relax the neck, deep breath. Lifting through that left foot directly up. Stepping it back, toe onto the floor, bend into that front knee, squeeze that front hip, drop the back knee, drop the back toe, roll yourself up. As we push into that knee, we reach up tall, bring the hands together, exhale back down. Hands come all the way down, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, step back into plank, exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Assisted push-up. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Bring the feet together, left heel lifts. Exhale, lower. Right foot lifts, inhale. Exhale, knee towards chest, plant that foot, turn the back toe out, warrior one, squeeze the hips, roll yourself up. Hands reach up, hands come together, bend into that front knee, so we want a big dropping into the posture as the hands come down. Inhale and back up, take that Charlie Angel style mudra, and chop it, exhale. Inhale up, exhale, chop. Inhale up, exhale, chop. Let the hands release all the way down, step that back foot forward and fold. Pedal it out. Release the head. Rolling yourself up. Use the hands on the legs. Hands come all the way to the ceiling. Drop into those heels. And we can bring the hands together. We're going to take a nice little sway side to side. Bring the hands all the way down to the heart. Again, we're going to take those little hip circles, other direction. Hands come up. And you can keep swaying if you'd like to. We're going to take it all the way down into our chair. Squeezing those glutes. Maybe heel toe the feet together. We're going to sit here for a little bit longer this time. Push into the heels. You can squeeze the thighs together if they're there. Keep reaching the bottom back. And so we want to try to keep the knees over the ankles. So it feels like I might even fall over. I'm digging into my heels. I try to keep the toes down for my door stop. Lift the chest and then squeeze the belly tight. So notice the lower back. Squeeze. Deep breaths. And then the hands come down. Bottom comes up. You can heel toe them open a little bit wider. Pedal it out. Lifting the right foot, shift into the left, lift up, 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 hold for a moment, standing splits. So make sure that toe and heel do not turn. We want it facing straight down. Reach it back, and we're coming into our high lunge this time. So that knee is bent. Squeeze the hip. Roll yourself up. Inhale. Exhale. Hands come down. Sink in. Hands come all the way down. Step back. Exhale. Lower. Inhale. Lift for cobra. Exhale. Lower. Assisted push-up. Tuck the toes. Roll into your downward facing dog. Bring the feet together. Left heel lifts. Inhale. All the way through. Exhale. Back toe slightly turned out. Warrior one. Roll it up. Bend into that front knee. Settle it in. Make sure your posture is correct. And the fact that you feel centered and aligned. Hands come back up. Taking our mudra. Chop it. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So I want you to think about any problems that you're having and you're slicing through them. Inhale it up. Exhale, hands come all the way down. Step the back foot forward, fold. Left foot reaches up, standing splits. Hold. Relax the neck. Release the elbows. Focus on that lift, that squeeze. And then dropping the back toe, bend the front knee, squeeze the hips together. Strength, find it. Hands up. Draw it down, sink it in. Hands come all the way down. Step the front foot back, plank. Take a deep breath. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lifting through the back of the heart, the back of the head, through the knees, tuck the toes, up and into that downward facing dog. Bring the feet together. Right foot lifts, inhale. Exhale, knee pulls through. Turn the back toe out, warrior one, squeeze and gather. Bring yourself all the way up. Hands sink down so that we sink into alignment. And then inhale, bring it up. What's that problem? Think about it. Gather it, slice through it. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Release it all the way down. Step the back foot forward. Here we're going to take the toes out, heels in, and you can wiggle yourself down. Hold and breathe. Press the knees into the elbows and the elbows into the knees. Take a moment, take a breath, let that bottom sink. Of course, you can always place a block underneath of you if you need it. And then from here, ever so gracefully, find yourself into seated. Take the legs long. Bring the feet together. Give your toes some wiggles. Give your shoulders some wiggles. Zip the belly up and in. And we don't have to go forward into it too much. That might be too much stress on your lower back. So just wherever the hands land, we're going to pump through this one. So let's inhale up and out through the head. Exhale, fold. And so we're guiding the muscles to let them know this is where I want to go. We're coaching them. We're coaxing them. Inhale up. Exhale down. And just like we did our cat-cow, we've got this up and rounding. You might find that you can finally go a little bit lower. We'll hold in that position, and then we'll do the same. Lengthen the spine, straighten the spine. Exhale, round into it. Straighten and lengthen, so still is pumping. Exhale, release it down. And again, you'll find a resting spot. Again, let yourself just fall heavy there. One more deep breath. Guide the hands up the legs. Relaxing yourself down. We need to counter that big forward fold to a back bend of some kind. So we're going to take the hands behind us. The fingertips are facing forward. And then we're lifting the chest, big inhale. Exhale, settle. Inhale, open, inflate. Exhale, settle. Keep going, inhale. Exhale, focus on opening that heart with your inhale, peeling the shoulders back and away. You might even feel your hands spinning a little bit like you're opening mason jars towards the outside pinkies. And we'll push into the heels. You might lift the bottom just a little bit. You might lift it a lot. So as we have that inhale, we'll lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Place your feet on the floor. Go ahead and scoot your bottom forward. We're going to come to laying on the back. Laying on our back, we'll just let the knees sway side to side. And then we'll be pushing into a bridge. I feel like this is very settling for that lower back before just resting on the floor. So it's activating the glutes to help alleviate some of that discomfort that could be in the lower back from all that forward folding. The hands come down, feet are hip width apart. We'll squeeze the glutes. And we're not lifting all the way up yet. So it's just this little bit, just enough my hands could slide underneath. And then release it back down. As I'm doing that, I'm zipping up through the belly, big squeeze of the belly, squeeze of the glutes. Relax it back down. We're going to do this for a little while. So practice the breath, the inhale and exhale. So this might be a little bit opposite of what it naturally feels like. So as we squeeze, we exhale. And we inhale, we soften. Now here we have to be really careful that we don't overarch. And so creating this big gap between the lower back. We're teaching ourselves just to soften into neutral. So it's not the complete opposite, it's just neutral. So letting that tailbone slide long. So let's exhale, lift the tailbone, curl inward towards the belly button. And then inhale just into neutral. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then we'll start to make it a little bit bigger, squeezing the glutes, lifting the hips. Exhale. Inhale. Now as we do this, peel the spine off the floor and then reunite it. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. You might notice you're getting a little bit of massage through the spine. We'll do this one more time, holding at the top. Again, hands are down on the floor. Relax the shoulders. See if you can press the shoulders into the floor a little bit. Now try not to move the head. Just stay here looking at the ceiling. Take another deep breath. And then slowly reunite the spine back down towards the floor. We'll take our right foot and we're going to cross it over. And then we're just going to let it rock side to side. This is one of my favorites. It's also something you do in physical therapy for your piriformis, which is right there, deep muscle in the glute. And you can feel free to let it fall to one side so you can get that twist in, maybe breathe, stretching through the digestive system, and through the ribs. Pull it back in. We'll release that foot down, take the other foot up, cross it over, open up the knee, and then rock and sway side to side. And you might turn the head to the other side, twisting, holding, and breathing. Slowly bring it back to center. We'll release that foot down. If you need to stay here because your lower back is still irritated, it can happen, especially in new yoga. You can take the knees together and the feet wide. And that'll let the knees kind of just cave in and rest on each other. It also releases all the sacral muscles or the nerves. And then we'll rest with the palms up. If you feel okay, then you can take your legs out, and we've got the feet opened up. And we're just going to rest here. This is Savasana, or corpse pose. This is our resting posture. And we're just breathing. So the eyes are closed, you're extremely heavy. And just feeling your inhale, feeling your exhale. See if you can imagine your breath circulating up the spine. So from the base, up and up, through, all the way to the neck. And then releasing it all the way back down to the tip of the tailbone. So as we breathe, the breath is coming up towards the cranium, the sacral, back and forth. Relax the jaw, relax the eyes, let them rest. Releasing tension from the forehead, it just melts away. Shoulders soften, yet fall heavier, so they melt into the floor. And keep feeling that breath, that energy moving up and down the spine. We try to find stillness. However, if you do need to make little adjustments, go ahead and make them now as we take some time just to rest. If this is new for you, it can be difficult to spend this time just resting. And maybe you do need to hang on to that visual of the energy and the breath moving up and down the spine until you settle into just stillness. Feeling your inhale, feeling your exhale, trusting the floor underneath of you. As you fall heavier and heavier, deeper and deeper, letting go, releasing anything that we no longer need, letting go of anything that doesn't serve us. We let it go and we make space for all the hopes and dreams, for all the things that we've wished for to come to us. We create the space for them to come. So that when all of our hopes and dreams arrive, we don't suddenly have to let go. But we've already done the work before. We've already released. And then we express gratitude and thanks for trusting and knowing that all the things we hope and dream for are already on their way. Trusting as we trust the floor and we fall deeper and deeper into the floor. Softening in the face, the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, the elbows, the hands. Find the breath in and out. As we soften the hips, the thighs, the knees, the feet. We relax, we let go. We trust. We feel grateful. We feel clean, we feel spacious, we feel whole, we feel enough. Taking another deep breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And we'll reach the hands overhead and we'll bring the feet together. Taking a nice big stretch, big tense, and then let it go. We'll draw the feet in, and as this lunar practice closes, we'll roll to our left side. Bring yourself heavy. Take a moment to settle into the floor. And finding the hands in the floor when you're ready. And then pushing yourself up with a heavy head. Gonna come back to seated. We'll sit with our palms facing up, our fingers open and spread wide. And we'll bring our thumb to index for peace. Thumb to middle for love. Thumb to ring for compassion. And thumb to pinky for balance. Thumb to ring, thumb to middle, thumb to index, and then bringing them all together, blooming wide like a lotus flower. Inhale, reaching up. Bring the hands into prayer, gather all of those goodies together, and then slide them down into the heart. Taking a deep breath. And then bowing to your higher, wiser self. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope to see more of you, and I hope that you'll spend more time with me. You can join me in my free Facebook group at FigLeaf.Fit. And the group is called Well Nourished. And if you're in Louisville, you can book sessions, classes, workshops with me, Izzy, at izzynally.com. Or if you'd like to work with me one-on-one in my Balanced Goddess program, you can go to balancedgoddesschat.com and book a free session with me, and we'll get a plan drawn out for how to get you to your happiest, your healthiest, and in your most divine life. Thank you again, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.